Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck, chapter 134. If you're the you that I knew. If you're the you that I knew. Last we left off, the new loop has started, and in 1972, the first person that Foucault has visited was Ano, who is the unknown negator. And basically, she reveals that her plan in general is to save all of the negators before they collide with the tragedies that turned them into negators in the first place. The first one being Ano touching the G pen and activating his unknown ability, which basically erased him from existence, so to speak. Like, he would be invisible against his will forever. Nobody would ever find him. And that's his ability. So, she saved him from that. So good for you, Fuko. And she revealed that her next step was going to Nico. This was way before Nico joined the Union and all that stuff, met his wife. So, he's not gone through the tragedy of losing her yet. And she's basically going to recruit Nico. He's like, hey, let's slay God together, Mr. Nico. And Nico's like, no. He closes the door.
I'm good off that, little girl.
Yeah. So Foucault uses the UMA. I forget the name of the UMA, but she opens the door, basically forcibly letting herself in, and she explains the story up to now for the most part. And Nico's like, I don't want to believe this shit. The answers, the rules that scientists of yesteryear dedicated their lives to uncovering are being rewritten at a whim of some lousy god? It's bullshit.
Right.
And he's like, I'm a scientist, and therefore I'm an atheist. I don't even believe that shit. And Foucault's like, well, it's true. I mean, I don't want to. We got to do it. I figured that if you were the Mr. Nico you knew, I would say that. And she was like, and Nico's like, don't tell me I was your boyfriend or something. He's like, no. No, what made you think that? Is like, I mean, you look awfully happy to see me and stuff. I just assume. But I only been interested in someone who's got an intellect to match mine. And I don't want any kids either. But Foucault knows, dramatic irony. He has both of those things. So,
Yeah.
Nico basically asks her to explain her plan. And the idea, of course, as we know, is to basically stop the tragedies that will eventually manifest the abilities of her allies.
I can't believe I called that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. And
Not for being right, but that's the case. Anyway.
Yeah. And she reveals that the next person that they're going to save is Gina from all the way back at the beginning of the series, and the Unchanged Negator. If you don't remember, Gina's ability is to halt the change of anything, meaning that she can basically stop movements. She can freeze things in the air, including air itself. She just prevents any form of change happening, whether it be movement or otherwise. And she's like,
hey,
we'll just keep going and we'll save everybody one after another. And I needed to start with you because you're the only person who would believe and cooperate with me. So what are you going to do? And Nico's like, I want to ask one thing. I'm part of a group, right? Even if I was part of a team before, you could have found any scientist, but you came to me. What kind of negator do I become, and what tragedy is awaiting me? And Foucault's actually starting to think about the consequences of probably change of telling Nico and what would happen. So she's like, I if Nico were to know what happened to him and be forced to suffer due to Unforgettable, Nico would probably distance himself from Ichiko, so, none of that stuff comes out. He doesn't become the Nico that he needs to be. And she's like, I can't tell you, but, And she's like, "What? You can't tell me the bad things that are in store for me, but should I come up with plans to prevent everything? And you're telling me that I should keep helping you until the time comes?" And she's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
basically." Um,
Uh, I need you to suffer, bro.
yeah, and I need you to trust me. You know, and well, not necessarily suffer. She's like, "Look, there's gonna be a time where I'll tell you everything. You know, when the time comes, but it hasn't come yet. It just simply hasn't. If you basically, if Nico knew that all the stuff that's about to happen to him, he would avoid Ichiko in general, and they neither. So you know, he can't let it happen. She can't let it happen, and she basically promises him is like, hey, if you go along with me and you just give me your trust, I'll ensure that you're the happiest you've ever been in any loop. Um, and Nico just like is taken aback, and he's like, I must have had a pretty rough life. She's like, yeah, you did. Your life was pretty rough. It was pretty terrible. Um, so she's like, so Nico's like, all right, so Unchanged, how do we save her? And Fuko's like, well, negator abilities can't be stopped from manifesting in general. Unknown was a special exception because God intentionally imbued the G-Lantern pen with Unknown to prevent the key strategic info stored within it to keep from leaking out. So that's why Unknown was able to escape being a negator. But
Right.
Gina's ability cannot be stopped. Tragedy is bound to stop her. So you know, she explains that in 1972 Soviet Union, Gina will unconsciously activate her ability, making the air around her unchangeable and basically suffocate her entire fucking village.
Jesus, 40,000 people.
Yeah, not great. So, Foucault says that in order to prevent this tragedy, she needs Nico to make this this psychopod, which is basically a device to stop the spread of Unchange's air, an invention from the future. And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think of Undead Unluck chapter 134?
Well, I was very happy reading this chapter again because of what I said earlier about that they're really going through it, bringing every single person back. I don't know how much attention each character is going to get, but this is enough for me personally. Um, man, I don't. Foucault's emotional states don't get tired to me. Even when I hear myself slightly on an echo, probably because Brian's gate is open or something like that. But regardless, it's just when she had that panel where she's saying, "I'll ensure that you're the happiest you've been in any loop." I don't know. That kind of got to me. Like she's so sincere in what she wants to do, and now it's not just somebody being sappy. She watched all her friends die already. You know, this is confident emotion. I like what I'm seeing here from Foucault as a character. I think this is low key the best part of the series. Foucault developing more. Um, what do they say they're gonna do for Gina? What's the plan?
They're gonna
Yeah,
basically
device
make
to stop the spread of Unchange's air, an invention from the future.
yeah, basically they're gonna try to prevent her from suffocating her entire damn city or whatever wherever she's from.
Yeah.
Well, pretty dark.
Good luck.
Good luck. Well, it is unluck, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm of the same mind. I think this is such an interesting way to go about the series going forward. I think it's a very unique way of going about it, and Fuko's growth is just so much so. She's not like just kind of like a passive character anymore. She's actively trying to do shit, and I
Mm-hmm.
respect that. I love that she's like doing this whole get the band back together thing. I'm not sure how detailed it'll be, but I'm hoping that it will be pretty detailed. I think it's just like not viable to repeat this process with every single person at length, but I'll take as much as they can give. I'm excited to see how this is executed going forward. It is funny that we're starting with Gina because she's the negator in the union that we spent least time with. So,
Yeah.
because she dies pretty early. So I'm excited for what comes next with Undead Unluck.
She was a welcome mat for the Union, essentially.
Basically. So yeah, excited. Unique concept. Not foreign to Undead Unluck. But those are all my thoughts. Josh, do you have any rebuttals? Anything you wanted to add?
Aside from what I said earlier, no, not really. Akane Banashi. Do you read that?
I didn't read it this week yet.
Mm.
It's a good series, though.
Save Gina,
Anyway,
please.
all right. With that being said, that was Undead Unluck.